We are waging war on mediocrity. It ain't no friend of me. What's up out there, family and friends? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you another edition of Motivational Monday. I'm so excited to be sitting in front of you all tonight. I'm starting to see the eyes add up. Hey, man, if you're hopping on here, holler at your boy. Let me know who's out there for all my replayers. Give your boy about 2 minutes as I begin to share this out to all my social media outlets. Hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us tonight. Always on time. Let the hungry commence. I see some more eyes out there. Y'all holler at your boy and let me know who's out there. They adding up quick tonight, and I haven't even shared it yet. If you go to my page and share this. Hey, what's up, Gene? How you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Y'all holler at your boy. I see some more eyes out there tonight. Holler at your boy, man. Don't drop it here. Don't let your boy holler back at you. I really do appreciate the time that you all spend with us on here tonight. It does mean a lot. Like I told you, we will always have some fresh bread. As I share this out, give me 1 second. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us. What's up, Marcus? Lady Queen, I am on YouTube. Thank you for joining us, Lady Queen. Twan, what's up, dog? See, man, I see the faces and the names out here. This is going to be phenomenal. I see these are all people that are changing this world as we speak. If y'all would, do me a favor, man. Please reach out, share this with somebody, type somebody else's name in there, invite them to come and break bread with us. One thing I can promise you, tonight is going to be good because I've been talking a lot, and I know right now I'm being a little rude as I'm typing names in here. I know it looked like I'm being a little rude, but y'all give me about 30 seconds, and I'm gonna have these names in here. We're gonna get ready to break this bread. I've been talking a lot just recently overall about having a growth mindset, but I haven't really talked to you all about how to develop what I lack. I do a lot of talking around it. And yesterday, when we were on Bridging the Nations, and Antoinette Marie, Lady Queen, and myself, man, I had an epiphany, and it caused me to really go into a little study where I wanted to come up with some of these ideas, like I talked about today. And the name of today's message is "I Can." We know we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. We already know that thing. But I think that sometimes a lot of us get caught up in trying to do it overnight. And I think we have to allow ourselves some grace to make sure that we're able to go through in time and be able to build it on the proper foundation, on the proper foundation. And I think some of us put too much pressure on ourselves to get results overnight. And these type of results, they don't come overnight. And so give yourself some grace when it doesn't work the way you think it should. All right. So, hey, let's get ready to break this bread. We're 3 minutes and 20 seconds on. I hope you already told your grandmama and them that the motivational teacher to the masses is about to hop on episode 81 of Awaken Your I Am. Woo! Man, when I started back episode 1, I had no idea where we was going. 80 episodes later, here we are. And tonight is going to be phenomenal. I told you, we spent all last year talking about your deity. Tonight, as we did yesterday at Bridging the Nations, I am coming for your humanity. Tonight, I want to talk about I can. Yes, I can do all things, but I want to talk about specifically I can. See, most of us, and I'm talking about the human species, we meet opposition, or we meet challenges, or we meet things that make us uncomfortable. We meet those things with somewhat of a fixed or closed mindset. Instead of seeing a challenge that's saying I can overcome it, we see it and we begin to immediately think, how can I really do it? How can I? That seems so big. Like I need to have $500,000 to start my company. It seems like a lot of money. Or I'm the DON. I learned what that was yesterday on Bridging the Nations. I want to be the DON, but do I really possess the capacity to be able to run the whole director of nurses? Or I want to own my own daycare. I want to serve 500 kids. Do I really have the capability to be able to do that? And so today I want to come and talk to some of those fears and some of those doubts that live on the inside of you, but I'm not coming to attack that through your deity. Today I'm coming to attack that through your humanity to help us understand how what I lack, that I possess the ability to grow it. And I've said that a million times, y'all, but I want to apologize that I didn't walk you through the process of how I said it. What I lack, I came from a creator. The seed is within itself. I can grow it, but I did not take the time to walk you through the process of growing what you lack. I just broke bread. And even the motivational teacher to the masses sometimes get way ahead of myself in some of these conversations. Like I told you all, I'm in a leadership training program for a Fortune 100 company right now. My secular job is for a Fortune 100 company. I train, develop, manage a huge book of business. And so part of what I'm doing is I do leadership trainings there. And as I was doing a leadership training earlier today after Bridging the Nations, and I said, man, I always talk about what I lack, I can grow. And then today I saw, okay, mentally I know it, but then they gave me the tools to be able to break it down so that you all could take these steps, take it and run with it and create a new level of harvest for yourself. Now I gotta be upfront. What I'm about to give you doesn't happen overnight. This is not no blab it, grab it type gospel. This is not that name it, claim it type information. This is the information that I got to build a lifestyle of consistency. I have to build a lifestyle of character. I have to build a lifestyle of understanding that this moment doesn't define me, which gives me the ability to keep pushing when I get tired, to keep pushing when things aren't going my way. I understand that there are greater calls and a greater purpose for my life. I was talking to a person that I mentor today on my secular job. And the person I was talking to, he had an opportunity for a promotion. And he called me and he was like, hey, Anthony, I have an opportunity for this promotion. He said, I'm not very fond of the work, but it's an opportunity for a promotion. I said, do you see how it builds you? Thank you, Vanika. How it develops you into your overall purpose of what you want to do. You might not be excited about that role right now, but that role is might be what is needed to get you to that next level so you can get to where you want to be. Not all growth opportunities going to be comfortable. Not just broke bread. Not every moment in your life where you think that God has called me to an area that it's going to be comfortable. There will be some moments where you feel like you're walking on water, but you have to be okay with those moments, understanding that I can. Yeah, I can. We have to adopt that vernacular in our mind that when I come up against a problem or I come up against a situation, I need to tell myself I can. Come on, man. And I'm not saying that I can because I'm so deep and wonderful inside of me. I'm saying I can because the great I am awakens my I am. Come on, man. I'm breaking bread right now. I can. There's no limitations to my life. And the motivational teacher to the masses tonight is going to sit down and walk us through how to create what we lack. Boy, I love saying that. We are creators. Don't let anybody tell you anything different about your life. You are a creator. You came from one. You are one. Thank y'all for sharing this out there. You are a creator. So before I get into this conversation, I want to talk about talent. And so there are many of us, as we grew up, we were told that talent gets you to where you want to go in your life, that you have to have this level of supreme talent, or I run faster, or I jump higher, or I read faster than everybody, I type more words per minute than everybody, I have this supreme talent, or they tell you because you make an A on a test that you are superior mindset and only few can get there. We got a valedictorian, we got a salutatorian of this class. You've been ranked according to your intellect. This is what the world system tells us, that if I'm not one of these talented people, then my lot in life has to be that of a laborer. And the whole world system has been training us since elementary school to believe that our intellect can be captured by a standardized test. It's taught us to believe that if you go a technical route, that you're less than a human because you're not going to college or you're not doing something that the world perceives you should do. I'm going to debunk this whole talent thing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, talent is overrated. Jeff Carvin in his book, Talent is Overrated, he said this. His whole theory was to debunk that talent and experiences are the determinant factors in success. But yet, instead, his book proved that he makes the case for deliberate practice, intrinsic motivation, and starting early is the right combo and recipe for success. I know they told you that you didn't have the brain power when you were a C student. Or I know they told you that when you went to your job that because you didn't have these qualifications, you can't be the DON. Or I know they told you when you went for the loan because you didn't have these references, you cannot be approved for the loan. Or you went for that promotion, or you went for a different job and they told you because you didn't have line up across the spectrum, you didn't fit for that. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't meant for you. Any door that closed in your life, you don't have to have it. Why? Because the great I am has every one of your steps ordered. I just broke bread for somebody right there. All of your steps are already ordered. If it didn't work out, man, come on, man. I will not cry another cry. I will not shed another tear because of a door that closed, because I understand that the great I am has awakened my I am, and I'm not crying about what I lost, because what I found is so much greater in what his plan is for my life. I'm not crying about what I lost. Yeah, sure did. I'm not crying about what I lost. I'm not crying about what I don't have. It's our moment right now, and the motivational teacher to the masses is going to talk about that tonight. So stop talking about what I don't have, where I don't have the talent. He made the case for deliberate practice, intrinsic motivation, and starting early. All of those are you versus you. It's me versus me. I have no competition other than Michael Jackson said it better, than the man in the mirror. I am my own competition all in myself. It's how much can I allow the great I am to awaken my I am. That's my only competition in life. I'm not competing with any motivational speaker. I'm not competing with any manager or anybody that does my role on my secular job. It's me versus me. Everything that Jeff Carvin, after he wrote that book, he came to the conclusion that intrinsic motivation, deliberate practice, and starting early is the keys to your success. That has nothing to do but with you versus you. I need for you to start saying to yourself, I can. I'm not crying about those tests I failed. No, Vanique will walk away from them. I'm not crying about those. I'm not crying about those anymore. Why? Because if I didn't get it, I didn't need it. I got to break bread. Because I'm going to tell you tonight, Vanique, how we get there. And all these standardized tests, man, like my kids going to have to take standardized tests. But it's important that my kids are high A, high B students. But it's important for them to know that their self-worth is not derived from what's on their report card. Now, we do everything we do in excellence. Don't get me wrong. That's the Williams standard around here. But just understand that that doesn't define you. Whether you score 25 points tonight or whether you score 5 points tonight, understand one game doesn't define who you are, son. I'm breaking bread right now. One test don't define who you are, Vanique. One bank turning you down doesn't define who you are. Kevin Dyson, who created the Dyson vacuum cleaner, had 10,000 failed versions of that vacuum cleaner. He could have gone to himself 10,000 times and looked in the mirror and said, man, I guess I'm a failure. But he kept going. Why? Because he had deliberate practice, intrinsic motivation, and he started early. He understood that the success I have is not in my failure. If I learn something from every time something didn't work, and I think we need to stop calling it failures too. We need a new word. We need to stop calling it, because it's not a failure. It's a learning experience. If I learn something that propels me and promotes me mentally into a new mindset, then I never fail. All right, let's break bread. So as I was doing this study today, and I was looking at how the impact of executive development, that was the name of the article I was reading. And they said they came to the conclusion, and this is the motivational teacher to the masses spin on it. They came to the conclusion that development is based on three types of experiences. And I got to tell you all that this is something I did not understand, that the great I am put spiritual bumpers around me to get me in the lane I was supposed to go. I got to tell y'all that I was not very intentional about where I am up until this point, but now I'm starting to understand how our steps are ordered. The great I am awakened my I am to the point where he put spiritual bumpers in place for me to be at the right spot at the right time. Hey, Tracy, what's up? That's why I love it. Everything that we do it all in faith. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. I don't care what decision you make it in faith. Even if it's the wrong one and you make it in faith, there are spiritual bumpers to get you right where you need to be. So there's development is based on three types of experiences. Number one, 70% is based on the job experiences and challenges. The 70% of your development is based on the job experiences and challenges. Number two, 20% of your development is based on other people, from mentors and being able to bounce ideas off other people. And 10% is going to come from external courses. Like whether you, like I went to the John Maxwell certified speaker. I went to his stuff, or I go to International Teaching Leader Conference with Bishop Jake, or all that 10% of your learning is going to come from that. See, but us in our community, we didn't know that 70% of my experiences, my development is based on OJT. It's based on the job training. If I'm going to be great at something, 70%, I have to create the network, or I have to create the environment in order to grow, where I'm spending 40, 50 to 60 hours of my day. And as I began to think, and I love Miles Monroe book On Purpose, and if I tie that piece into this as well, as I begin to think, no wonder there's so many Americans frustrated. No wonder that there's so many, like right now, mental health is at an all-time high. Yes, because of the pandemic, but also because people were able to spend time with themselves. People were able to look in the mirror and say, I got to spend time with me because everything else is locked down. And a lot of people didn't like what they saw in the mirror. And I wonder why, because 70% of my growth and development comes from my on-the-job training, my experiences, and my challenges. And a lot of people are frustrated, and a lot of people are ready to walk away because they are working the majority of their time in an area where they're not being developed for where they want to be. I just broke bread. They don't see the necessary skills of where I see myself in 10 years. I cannot build those skills where I am right now. That will lead to frustration. That will lead to depression. That will lead to anger. That will lead to all of those other emotions that are negative, because where I'm supposed to be, and trust me, I didn't know this, where I'm supposed to be developing myself now is like a prison sentence. Like, man was created to work. Ladies and gentlemen, man was created to have purpose. Before Eve, God told Adam, you tend to the garden. Man was, and I say man, I mean Homo sapien, male, female alike. I'm not just talking about men, but I'm talking about male, Homo sapien, male, female alike. We were created to have work, to have value, and to have purpose. And when a person doesn't know the purpose for their life, they tend to abuse it. Hence why alcoholism is so high right now. Hence why drug rates are so high right now. Hence why OxyContin use is way up right now. And people have to be treated for mental illness. Why? Because there is no purpose for that life. And if I don't know it, I will abuse it. 70%. You got to keep putting in that work. Come on, Vanika. You got to keep putting. Well, motivational teacher to the masses. I really don't. I got to do my job because I got to pay my bills. I got to pay my bills. Motivational teacher to the masses. I can't walk away from what I'm doing. Then you know what the motivational teacher to the masses says: create something that allows you to learn on the job. What am I doing right now? This is OJT for me. This is on the job training. Right now, I'm learning from experiences, and I'm learning from my own challenges. When I'm telling you, like Vanika know it, I'm going to go back and listen to this 4, 5, 6 times. Yes, I want to hear the information, but also I want to critique me. I want to see where sometimes I get going so fast that I don't complete a thought. Like, to me, it's not about the eyes on here. Right now, this is my OJT. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Right now, it ain't about the masses right now. Right now, I'm diving into my 70%. And I'm going to give everything I have to that 70%, because this is going to be the avenue by which the multitude comes. I remember we talked about it on BTN yesterday, where David was watching the sheep. That was David's 70%. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. David was tending to the sheep. That was David's 70%. God was developing David to be king by watching sheep. My question to you is, what are you being developed to be or to do while you're at your secular job, or why don't you create an avenue so you can be developed to be what you want to have that desire that's on the inside of you, where you believe that you're most valuable to this earth? 70% of it. That's why I'm saying, man, that's why I'm so in awe. Like I'm telling you, I spend 4,600 hours a year speaking, coaching, mentoring, and training. In the next 5 to 10 years, I will be the best at it. Listen to your boy, I'm putting the time in day by day. And eventually, at some point, he that soweth sparingly shall also reap sparingly, but he that sow bountifully shall also reap bountifully. You cannot keep putting the mind in, keep putting the time in and not see the result, because let God be true and every man a liar. It's the great I am that awakens my I am, and it's just a matter of time. Yeah. It's just a matter of time before the motivational teacher to the masses. It's just a matter of time before the DON. It's just a matter of time before what I have on the inside of me, I walk out on the outside of me. Why? Because I'm proving my armor right now. Why could David do 5 smooth stones in a slingshot? Because I guarantee you that's what he used out there on the bear. I guarantee you that's what he used out there on the lion. Why? Because his armor had to be proven. And just like you and I, our armor had to be proven. Nobody would put Tyler Perry in a play, so Tyler Perry had to create his own play. I just broke bread. You're asking God, you're asking people to invest in you what you will not invest in you. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Boy, I'm telling you right now, I'm going back to listen to it. If don't nobody else do it, but me and Vanique, I'm going back and listening to this. We're asking people to invest in us when we're not willing to invest in ourselves. 70% of what you learn, of what you know, is OJT. I get it now. I didn't know it at the time. See, I thought that 20% from other people were the place where we should spend the majority of our time. And I was always trying to know more people that are doing what I want to do. And I always was trying to inbox people that were doing what I wanted to do, so I can learn and grow from them. And I thought that if I had mentorship and I had people that had done what I want to do, I'm like, oh, if I just get the information they have, it could get me to where I want to do what I want to do. Somewhat true, but not completely. Only 20% of your learning should come from other people. 20% of it. And when I say 20%, you got to get, when I say 20%, you got to understand what I'm saying. Because to me, it's not necessarily the amount of time you spend at practice that counts. It's what you put into practice. Listen to you, boy. We go to the conferences and we take big pages of notes. And all those notes end up being our notes. We do nothing with the notes. See, it's not about how much time I spend listening. It's about what am I putting into practice. And I think that's the challenge for a lot of us, is that we hear a lot of information, we take a boatload of notes, and we don't go back to the 70% where I'm supposed to learn on the job. I think I get it osmosively through listening to somebody, or maybe even doing the 10% in the courses. Elisha could not walk in what Elijah's mantle until he had spent some time with it. It's the same way, ladies and gentlemen, that we want it by being able to listen, and we want it by being able to get mentors and tell us what decisions to make. But nonetheless, at some point, we got to put our hands to the plow. And this is where I think in my culture, we get it. We are kind of thrown off, that we're not very deliberate and we're not very intentional when it comes to that 70%, because we believe that 70% is just make money to pay our bills. And this is where I came to change your thought process. The 70% is just not meant for us to pay our bills. The 70% is not just meant for us to be able to take care of our kids. That's 70% where I work. We're supposed to apply. We need to be somewhere where I can grow myself and what I want to do. My secular job, I'm training, teaching, coaching, inspiring, motivating. Exactly what I'm doing here. And I'm telling you all, Oh my God, I can say this with so much confidence and such a level of conviction and belief that right now I'm looking at 12 eyes, but I promise you, not many days from now, we'll be looking at 1,200 and 12,000 and 120 and now 1,222,000. Why? Because it's all about the intentional and deliberate work I'm doing with the 70%. And I can hear him now when I ask the questions. And when you national and international, everybody want to ask you questions. And it was almost like nobody knew who you were, and then one day here you were. No, it wasn't. I've been putting the 70% in, 4,600 hours a year, inspiring, teaching, coaching, motivating for the last 5, 10 years. I didn't just pop up. I was deliberate in the work. And I'm telling you right here too, so don't get so caught up in your results that you abort the mission. Don't allow your baby to be born still. Don't have a stillborn birth because you want to rush the process. We have to be deliberate and intentional. And for adults, sometimes deliberate learning is not easy. So let me talk. There are 3 classical deliberative learning principles. All right. If I'm on the job, there are 3 principles I should be deliberate and I should be intentional about. Sometimes we get so caught up in how big the task is that we discourage ourselves from even making the decision to do it. Come on, Joy. I have to do the work to see the results. Vaniqua, apply. Sometimes we talk ourselves out the game before we've completely entered the game. I want to give you 3 learning principles of this 70%. Number 1, break the skills you need to learn down into smaller parts and focus on the fundamentals of the elements of each piece. So how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So don't be afraid to take new challenges on the job and learn them. Don't be afraid to start your business, on the outside of your job so you can begin to work in an area where you believe you've been called to. Don't be afraid because you're not going to learn it all overnight, but you have to extend yourself grace in that today I am going to learn something I didn't know yesterday. I have to be deliberate about that. Learning a complex skill first means that I have to deconstruct it. I have to deconstruct the skill. I do this with my kids in basketball all the time. Most people think they see Steph Curry or they see LeBron playing basketball and they think shooting and playing basketball is one smooth motion. Basketball is made up of many motions but when it's done correctly, it looks very smooth as is one motion. If I can teach these young kids how to develop the right footwork, how to disperse their body weight, how to go heel toe, if I can teach them all the small elements of the game, by the time they get middle school, high school, now they've learned how to put those pieces together that's going to make them well-rounded players and make them better for the next generation. When people sit over this microphone like I'm doing right now, people hear one speech. But what I hear is an opening. What I hear is personal stories. What I hear is a middle. And what I hear is a strong closing. That's what I don't hear one message. I hear when I go back and listen to it. What's up, Q? I hear different parts of one long running thought. But that's after I've learned to break down the skills. And when I started doing this speaking, I used to start with just quotes, 4-minute quotes. And I used to start just reading 4-minute quotes. That's all I had in me. I have a 4-minute quote. I talk about it. And then people on social media said they didn't want to hear more than 3-4 minutes at a time. That reinforced my ability to give 3 to 4 minute quotes. But 5 years in, I could sit here and go an hour and a half and not blink an eye and not need one note. Why? Because it came from 5 years of 4,600 hours of work per year. It's all on the job. It's not going to be perfect. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect for you to start. Don't despise the days of small beginnings. It does not have to be perfect for you to start today. You have a gift, you have a skill that you're sitting on because you don't know how to make the big vision happen. Don't worry about the big vision. Start with what you can do today. Break it down to the fundamental elements of what it is you want to do. I was talking to somebody who listens to these Motivational Mondays routinely, and the person is close to 60 and decided to go back to school and get a second master's in administration because she now wanted to run the office of where she worked. She went back to school at 56, I think it was, to run the office of where she worked. She said, man, I can go gain this skill, get this accreditation, and at 60, I'll be running my office. That's somebody who believes they got a lot of life to live. That's not somebody preparing for night and walk away and go to sleep and retire. That's somebody that's preparing and planning for their future. And she was exactly right. The majority of that's going to be done right there where she is. I'm breaking bread right now. Number two, as you're breaking these skills down, make sure that there's an element of discomfort in the process that allow for you to make mistakes. We've been told, man, growing up, that making mistakes was so bad. We've been told, we were taught that if you don't make 100, then you're less than. Or if you can't run as fast as the next person, then you're less than. We've been told that if you miss the game-winning shot, then you're less than. I'm telling you, Michael Jordan missed way more game-winning shots that he made, but we only talk about the ones he made. I'm telling you, it's the mindset we have to capture. It's the mindset, man. You gonna make mistakes. My kids gonna make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. My wife, we all going to make mistakes. But it's so easy for a lot of us to extend grace to other people than it is for us to extend grace to ourselves. That's okay. I have high expectations of me. You have high expectations of you. I completely get it, but we still have to allow for us to have that simple element of grace that I'm not perfect and I'm not going to get it all at one time. Nothing in life that's worth it comes easy. I remember Les Brown saying that if you continue to do what's easy, your life is going to be hard. But if you choose to do what's hard, your life can be easy. But we've been taught in our community that everything has to be done on time and done perfectly. And I'm telling you, it's just not the way of the world when you have a growth mindset. I will take on challenges, understanding that I'm gonna stop saying make mistakes. That I will miss the mark. Ooh, that's a better word. Oh yeah, failure is gone. Right now, failure is out the vocabulary. I understand that I will miss the mark, but I have an opportunity tomorrow to wake up and learn from the mark that I missed. I just broke bread right there. Not making the failure is never final. You missed the mark. It's okay, miss the mark. Get back up and do it again. I was reading a story about the Serena and Venus, the Williams sisters, how they grew up in Compton. And man, like starting out, man, they struggled to play. They weren't that good, but they kept playing. They were willing to put the time in when other people were not putting time in. They came when it looked unlikely that two African American young women could be able to do it at that level. They kept playing and didn't listen to the naysayers because they didn't look like what they thought Steffi Graf and all of them were supposed to look like. Everybody counted them out, but they kept going to the courts no matter what. Why? Because they were committed. What I tell you earlier, they had deliberate practice, intrinsic motivation, and they started early. It's okay to lose. You're going to lose some games in your life. It's okay. It's okay. I ain't going to cry about what I lost. If I learned something, it's okay that I missed the mark. And this sounds very counterintuitive coming from a motivational teacher. I know it sounds very counterintuitive, but Paul said the things that I want to do, I sometimes don't do. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Release the pressure that it doesn't have to be perfect, that my steps are ordered, and I lean not to my own understanding, and all my ways acknowledge him, and he will direct my path. Even that when I'm in control, I'm not in control if I'm moving in faith. See, faith begins at the end of our comfort zone. Why I'm sweating up a storm. I don't know why I wore a long sleeve shirt. Faith begins at the end of our comfort zone. We all keep on walking by faith. Well, get out of your comfort zone. Do something that's so not easily given to you. We should not be expecting sweatless victory in every area of our life. It's okay to miss the mark if I'm growing. It's okay that if I learn from that negative relationship, it's okay. If I learn from that job that didn't work, it's okay. If I learn from that, man, I told y'all, I had a company where we were fixing up apartments. We were fixing up apartments. We did about 3 sets of apartments, understood real quickly that the margins are not where we thought they were, so we got out of that. But I will tell you what I did learn. I learned process. I learned quickly how to put what's important, and that carries over to me in my leadership role. None of those experiences were lost because I grew from it. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Thank you, Joy. And then the last one is the three classical deliberative learning principles. Number 3 is seek feedback and work in an authentic context. Seek feedback and work in an authentic context. Listen to your boy. I don't always have to be right. Don't stone me. Don't stone me. You do not have to always be right. I just broke bread for somebody right there. You don't always have to be the biggest voice in the room. You don't always have to win every argument. Seek feedback. Ask trustworthy people. In what areas do you see I can grow? And where do you what tell me? And you give them is it this area, this area, this area? Which one you think I can grow most in? Be authentic. How can I add value to you? In what area of your life can I add value to you? See, this right here, like these messages here, I know I told you it's not about your deed tonight. I was coming for your humanity. These are the messages where you grow. I can come in here and tell you about how awesome you are and what all the great I am is going to do, but these are the messages where you go from being a floor attendant to being supervisor. These are the ones where you grow from being supervisor to being the DON or the head nurse in charge. These are the moments where you begin to change your mindset from that as an employee mindset to that as an executive. Remember that the name of the article that I read was Impact on Executive Development. Hey, Donnell, what's up? Thank you for joining us. Talking about being an executive today, Donnell. You know what I'm talking about. I told you that this stuff you can't always get it out the book. You got to go put your hands on something and find trusted advisors or mentors that you can ask. In what area can I be better? If you're not seeking feedback, it's no way you can get there without seeking feedback. Even my favorite coach, Jesus, went and asked Peter James, "Who do men say I am?" What was he asking for? Feedback. He knew who he was the whole time he was asking, but he was looking for feedback. Why? If the great I am look for feedback, why in the world would we not look for feedback? We're talking about the impact of executive development. I'm developing executives right here. I told you I'm in a program, Donnell, you weren't on here early, but I'm in a program with the top 5% of people in a Fortune 100 company, and this is what we talked about. You are an executive and you are a CEO of your own life. See, most people think I'm talking about a company. No, you are an executive of your own life. Now, if you choose to parlay that over as an executive into a company or whatever you choose to do, that's cool too. But understand that you got options. You are not a one-trick pony. There's not just one thing you can do. You can do multiple things well. You don't have to. Come on, man. I wish y'all could get my mind on this. Joy just said, I don't always have to be right as long as I strive to do my best. It's okay to miss it. Man, I feel so much pressure being relieved right now. It's okay to miss it. We're not going to make every mark we strive. It's okay to miss it as long as I'm shooting for the stars and I learn something when I land amongst the moon. That's okay. But I know I got to ask for feedback and I got to be in a position to where I'm being authentic. People hate fake people. I'm being honest. I don't like fake people being around me. People that says what I want them to say when they're around me, and then when they go somewhere else, they just create something else. And trust me, man, I understand it from energy. Like your energy speaks when you're not there. Your energy speaks before your words do. I just broke bread. Like I am an executive. This is what I do. We had 5 spots. We looked at over 100 resumes, and we interviewed almost 20 people for 5 spots. How you do it, motivational teacher to the masses? It's all about your energy. It's all about your energy and how you tell your story. If you got to always be right, then I know I don't want you on my team, because we foster a mindset, a growth mindset on this team. There's nothing fixed about my team. We're all looking and developing, looking to grow. Come on, man. Y'all, we got to tighten up. We got to tighten up and believe that there's more. Vanico chiming into this conversation on YouTube. I made an F, and an instructor told me that I would never pass his class with nothing higher than a C, and I would not get into clinicals. Well, not only did I pass the class with a B, I got accepted into clinical. That's the awaken I am. That is the awaken I am. And notice she said, I made an F. And he told me I would never pass it. I came back, and I will keep coming back. Man, listen to your boy. Talent alone is never enough. A person with some doggoneness, a person that a person that will not quit can never be beat. Boy, I just broke bread right there. A person that will not quit can never be beat. Michael Jordan was cut from his junior varsity basketball team. Was cut by his coach. And was told that he didn't possess the skill. You know what Mike said? I will go and I will get better. Don't ever take failure as final, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a crash course with destiny. And the great I am is driving. It's up to us to make that decision that I'm okay with a little discomfort. Discomfort is often a sign that growth and development is taking place. I'm okay with a little discomfort right now. Man, I'm breaking bread right now. I'm okay with a little discomfort in my life. Understand that it is the pressure that makes the diamond into its value. Understand right now, it may not be what I want it to be, but right now I am under construction. Man, and I'm okay. For a long time, man, I could not admit that I was flawed. That there were areas in my life where I needed to improve. I thought I had to put on this picture of perfection to get to where I want to go. But as I started understanding that the greatest amongst you must be a servant. Oh, I just broke bread. That the greatest among you must be a servant. How many people do you add value to? You can look directly at your bank account and look at the amount of value that you bring to people. I'm telling you, the more people that you add value to, you will see that whatever that area is, it will continue to grow. I told you tonight, I was coming for your humanity. And a lot of times these humanity moments are not very popular, but they are needed in order to succeed in life. Development is based on 3 types of experiences. 70% on the job, 20% from other people, 10% for courses. At the end of the day, put your hands to something. Put your hands to something. If you got nothing else out of this Motivational Monday, put your hands to something. What you have in your hand can be great, but you will never know until you put your hands to it. 70% of what you learn is going to be you having new thoughts. It's going to be you running to situations where I had to figure out how to make it work. Stretch assignments are good. Stretch assignments is what people of faith is what we do. Come here, Peter. I'm going to make you a fisherman of men. That was a stretch assignment. Peter did not know how to stretch men. Come here, Anthony. I'm going to pull you all the way out of basketball, and I'm going to make you a leader. Listen to your boy. I have a degree in education. I don't have a business degree. I don't have a leadership degree. I don't have an economics degree, but nonetheless, your boy is leading a Fortune 100 company right now. Why is that, motivational teacher to the masses? Because you have to be okay being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. If you always got to be in the boat, you'll never understand what it's like to go beyond your comfort zone. You got to get out the boat. You got to get out the boat. Freedom, everything that you ever wanted out of your life is on the other side of that boat. You are so afraid of that water on the other side of that boat. You don't know the water is about that thick, but you're so afraid of everything that could go wrong that I will not get out the boat. I have paralysis of analysis, and it's killing my future because I'm nervous and I'm afraid of what it very well could go wrong. But guess what? The great I am has awakened your I am. That solution to that problem might be the very thing that's going to get you to the next phase of life. Man, I just broke bread. That might be the very idea that's supposed to get you to the next phase of life. You got to be willing to get out the boat. I don't know, motivational teacher. What if I miss it? What if you do miss it? What if you make it? And all these things work together for my good. Either I believe that or I don't. Either I believe those words or I don't. So why am I so afraid that if I know in all these things I am more than a conqueror? I'm not afraid of it, of the moment. I'm not afraid of the moment. Why, motivational teacher to the masses? I sat here, oh my God, boy, I feel this with everything in me. I'm not afraid of the moment when I'm speaking in front of 100,000. Why? Because I sat here behind this camera thousands of hours doing this right here. I am not afraid of the moment. I am not afraid of the moment. Come on, Vaniqua, you better let them know this right here should not be free. Y'all better get it while it is. You better let them know. I put too many hours in. I am not afraid of the moment. I've been working to 70%. Ladies and gentlemen, your confidence comes from your 70%. Your confidence comes from the moment you realize that it's okay for me to be outside the boat. It's the moment where you get true freedom. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. You cannot be free indeed inside the boat. Man, I just broke bread. Moses, no matter how much you're on the backside of Midian, you are not free indeed until you go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. Anthony, you are not free and not free indeed until you learn how to talk 45 minutes without having everybody quotes except yours. You're not truly free. You've been living constricted. Why? Because you're afraid of making mistakes, but the fear of making mistakes is your biggest mistake. I just broke bread. I'm with Vaniqua right here. This should not be for free. But right now, I'm under construction. I'm under construction. And I'm telling you, there will be a moment in time that right now you put the work in. There will be a moment in time you will be presented with an opportunity that you're going to believe that you are not qualified for. And then you're going to look back and say, man, I put all this work in when I didn't know. I've been watching these sheep for all these years. I've been fighting lions and tigers and bears all these years. I'm fit for it. I'm the right person for the job. I don't care. My resume doesn't look like I'm right for it. I know my statue doesn't look like I'm right for it. I know my experiences on paper don't look like I'm right for it, but I'm right for it because I've been working when the lights was off. When everybody else was looking, trying to do work in front of the lights, I was working behind a small little eye. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, your confidence comes from what you do when the lights are off. You don't become great while doing what you want to do. You become great while working on the skill, piece by piece, inch by inch. It's a cinch. It ain't the big things. Can I break it down? Do I have the mental capacity to take a huge skill set and break it down into small little incremental pieces and be able to put those pieces together to have one complete project? I'm telling y'all right now, this is how winning is done. They kept this stuff from us so long that we've thought that our value was truly, like Vaniqua said earlier, was in that grade, or my value was in. My granddaddy had a third grade education. My dad had dropped out in the 10th grade. I'm just telling you my life story. My dad had dropped out in the 10th grade. None of my uncles on my dad's side finished high school. They told me that I was going to be a statistic, and I found my worth in what they said about me, not understand what the great I am had already written about me in the Lamb's Book of Life. And I made decisions based on what they said about me and not what the great I am wrote about me. And those limiting decisions allow us to sit in the seat of comfort. The seat of comfort, although the seat is very uncomfortable, It's not fun not knowing how you're going to pay your light bill. It's not fun knowing that you can't afford gasoline in your car. It's not fun knowing that your kids can't go to the school of their choice. It's not fun knowing that you got to go into debt with every problem. But we tell ourselves it's okay because I'm comfortable. While in the meantime, everybody around you that you're supposed to be blessing and support, they're even more uncomfortable because you didn't step into your lot in life. I love, man, let me tell you, one of the greatest joys of my life is when I take my wife, family, and my family, and all of our family, we go out and have this big meal at some restaurant, and they just bring me the bill. One of my greatest joys is being able to pay for that. Or when we have a huge something comes up in our family and somebody needs a sum of money and they don't have to go to the bank. They say, hey, man, I could go to my brother, or I could go to my cousin, or I could go to my son. And my wife and I are able to provide for that need. Why? Because my life is a blessing. I'm not doing it for me. And that's when, man, that's another phase of living. The uncomfortable living is not for me, but it's for the people around me to benefit and glean from it. If they learn from what I've been through, if they see the way we live and understand that the cost for it's going to cost something. Like, I love being a role model for my sons and the young black boys in my community. Why? Because we need more people that's willing to say, okay, if I don't know it, I can learn it. Young brother, you don't have to be perfect today. Young brother, I know you got one strike against you. You don't have to be perfect. Oh, man, now they're in the penal system and they make it impossible for them to come out the penal system. Young brother, you can make it out. You can make it out, but you got to take on that whole growth mindset. Man, I'm telling you, missing the mark is never final. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. Life doesn't always come with privileges, but it comes with problems. Believe it or not, you're going to have those. And Vaniqua, I do believe that the problems that persist are the ones that we're supposed to create solutions to. If it continues to keep calm, let's go solution mindset. It's okay. I ain't got to get it right. I told you 70% of this stuff is on OJT that I think I know what to do. Well, let me try it. Oh, that didn't work like I thought it was, but this piece did. All right, now I'm closer to a solution. Now I got to approach it that now with this little bit of information I have. Man, I learned something else the second time I went through it. That's how winning is done. You don't have to get it right. You don't have to get it right the first time. I know that's what they told us in school. That, you know, they graded us on a median or on that bell curve. That bell curve is a liar. I don't care where you fit on it. The bell curve was a liar. Well, they said you finished, and when you had 415, you finished right at 210. Oh, you 50%. Come on, man, ladies and gentlemen, get over that stuff. Well, right now you working a job, you in assembly right now. They just okay. Come on, man. We're better than that. I know the eyes that are looking at me, and I'm challenging you all. This is one that's going to challenge you. And this is going to come on. Thank you, Joy. And this is challenging me. And I listen, these are one of the ones where eyes don't add up very frequently on these kind, because this is right now based on your humanity. It's work that you have to put in. But I'm telling you, you listen to your boy. If you could put 2 to 3 good years of good solid 70% while pulling in the 20%, listening to people like the motivational teacher, while finding you 10% in courses in the area of which you need to grow, I'm telling you, you're going to find yourself having more money than you can spend. And trust me, life ain't about money. You're going to find yourself in bountiful and fruitful relationships where you're changing the world, where you got business partners in different cities, where you're building houses and digging wells in Africa. You're going to find yourself doing the things that your life was created to do. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it is in you to do. This is your boy on I Can. Yep, I can. Yep, I can. I want you to adopt that mindset. When problems come to you and you begin to face with problems, I can. I can. I would take that thing, break it down into small pieces. I can. A top graduate in my nursing class didn't even make it the top nurse, so it was never come on, man. It was never a competition. It was never a competition. So, that's what I'm saying, man. We got to run our race. I can, Q. We got to run our race. I'm not concerned about who gets it faster or who gets it slower than me. I celebrate people that are moving at a rate faster than me. I help people that are moving at a rate slower than me because their manifestation, their fruit in their life have nothing to do with mine. I'm in a one horse race, and guess what? It's me versus me. I can. I'm my own competition. I can. I'm just trying to outperform my own belief and thought pattern. I can. We don't have problems, only solutions. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have been phenomenal tonight chiming into this conversation. Again, I'm challenging you all to please share this, but please go back and listen to it 3, 4, and 5 times and get some new thoughts. Get some new thoughts so you can start getting new synapses being created in your brain to have good ideas so you can go try some new things. We can't always stay on the same roof with the same information and never expand our thinking. We call that dogma. You'll never outperform what your own thinking. If nothing else, let this spark some new thinking for you to say, I can do more. I will do more. I want to understand and say that I don't have to do it perfectly. I just got to do. I don't have to do it perfectly. I just got to get started. You all have been phenomenal. Thank y'all for chiming into this conversation, man. Y'all join me because I'm going to listen to the same thing 2 and 3 more times. And until next time, I am challenging you all to wage war on mediocrity.